Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful lunch.
Recording in progress.
I am going to just mute. Welcome back. We're getting more folks in as we come back in from the lunch break. We're going to wait about another minute or so before we start. But we're so happy to have you back. We're going to finish strong. I hope you had a wonderful lunch. I had a nice little bit of salad that I had left over from yesterday that I made. So, and I had a piece of chocolate because it's Friday and we all need a little step in our step on a Friday. So, anyone else have anything interesting for lunch that you'd like to share?
Well, it's Michigan and decent weather, so I walked around outside in the sun for 15 minutes, and that was delicious.
Yes, oh, it's good to hear that, Robert, because it's been a little gloomy for the last couple of days, at least in Lansing, and I'm so excited for the weekend where it's going to get up into the 70s, I think. So
had to scrape snow off the car yesterday, and that was a little bit of a slap in the face.
Yes. Yes, Andrea and Alisa, we had parts of Michigan in the Upper Peninsula that got like a foot of snow already. And so it's like,
oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
That's so unimaginable to me.
Alisa and I are both in California.
Oh, I'll trade you.
And as far as what I had for lunch, I just ate breakfast because we're 3 hours behind you.
Yes, yes. Well, let's get started. And as folks continue to come in, we'll catch them up and do all of that. But I just really appreciate everyone for tuning back in for the afternoon. We are excited to finish out the afternoon strong with our third session, Access America, Supporting Immigrant Integration via the Online Language Classroom. And we're so excited to have a couple of expert presenters all the way from California. And that's the joy of this virtual experience, is that we can connect with even more people and learn from even more greater experts through this virtual thing. So we're leaning into it, right? We've kind of, if you've been with us for most of the day, we'd ask that you, stay engaged with us. We hope it'll be interactive. And so if you have questions or comments, both Andrea and Alisa would encourage you to put those into the chat, and we'll be monitoring that and we can respond to that. Certainly, obviously, many of us are trying to do multiple things at once, listen and maybe answer or respond to work things. So just we ask that you stay muted unless you're asking a question or have a concern or something. Our recording and all the session materials will be made available to you. Andrea's got a link as well that she'll let you know at a certain time that you might want to take a picture of and capture her materials and where those slides can be found. And then again, for this session and all the previous sessions, you'll be able to go back and watch the recording if you want to hear it again, or if you weren't able to attend or stay for the entire time, you can go back and watch the recording to obtain sketches. So why don't we have everyone for this afternoon just say a quick hello in the chat, maybe your position, if you're an instructor, administrator, just so Andrea and Alisa can kind of get a sense of the audience for this afternoon.
Yeah, and I'd also be curious to know if you've used USA Learns before.
Great. That would be wonderful too.
So you could include that in your chat too, if you feel like it.
So go ahead and say hello in the chat, your name, your position, and
Hi,
whether
Amanda.
or not you've used USA Learns.
Hi, Deborah. Nancy. Never used it. All
No
right,
problem.
well, now's your chance.
You're in for a treat.
We'll give you a little peek at it. Hopefully you like it and you want to use it later.
And then
we got quite a few newbies.
Oh,
we
good.
do, which is great.
That's
to hear.
good.
And then just one last housekeeping thing is that if you already filled out the sketch form, you're good to go. You just need to fill it out one time today. But if you're just joining us for the afternoon session, this is your first session of the day, we do need you to complete the sketch form. I'm also going to drop the link into the chat. But again, if you already completed it this morning, you are good to go. You don't have to worry about it. So I'll leave it up for about 5 more seconds if you need to take a picture, but I will also put the chat, put it into the chat, and you'll give me a minute. I'll have to grab the link again when I stop sharing.
Hi, Mary.
So while you do that, I'm going to introduce our 2 wonderful speakers. Andrea Willis is the director of USA Learns, at the Sacramento Office of Education, so coming all the way from California. And she has had over 20 years of project management experience and really working in the field of technical assistance and projects related to adult skill building and English language instruction. So she really is a pioneer, and her flagship project in this work was creating and starting USA Learns, which we'll learn a little bit more about. But it is a free website that hopefully all of you will be subscribed to by the end of today, or at least have access to and it's bookmarked for you, that teaches English to adults around the world, helps immigrants prepare for US citizenship, and teaches job skills. And Andrea really feels privileged to have the opportunity to envision new courses and lead a really diverse team that builds free, high quality online instruction to help adults improve their skills and their lives. And I know, much like other states, Michigan appreciates those words free and high quality because we're always looking for those resources.
It's free and it's good.
Exactly, exactly. And then Alisa Tekeuchi is an ESL instructor and technology subject matter expert with over 20 years in adult education. She's got a wonderful program. I saw her presenting at CASAS, and she was doing a lot with HighFlex, hybrid, synchronous, asynchronous learning. Has a lot of strategies for that. So if you've got questions about that, she's a great expert in that area. And she has presented across the country, helping teachers with tech needs. Alisa has extensive knowledge on how to incorporate more technology into the classroom, and is enthusiastic to share knowledge with others. So there's Andrea, and here's Alisa. So I will stop sharing, and I'll turn it over to both of you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. That was such
Thanks,
a lovely
Patrick.
introduction. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, including share my sound, because I'm always scared I'm going to forget to share my sound. Okay, can you see my slideshow here? Yep. Alrighty. Good. Okay. So thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here with you all today. As Patrick mentioned, we're going to be talking about USA Learns course that is our newest course, which is entitled Access America. And this course is all about supporting immigrant integration through our online language classroom. And as Patrick mentioned, I work at the Sacramento County Office of Education, and I've been working here for 25 years, which is crazy and hard to believe. And I really do feel honored to be in this position because I get to work with this great team of developers. It's programmers and designers and videographers, and we get to build very cool things like USA Learns that really do get to help people around the world. And I just love that. So I'm Alisa. I don't know if you want to say a couple words.
Good afternoon, everybody. Almost a good morning. I'm Alisa Tekeuchi, and I do teach ESL beginning literacy in the morning in Garden Grove, which is in Southern California. And then I also teach a new CTE course at night. And then I'm also privileged to work with Andrea for SCOE. And it's been a really great ride to see the progress and the upgrades and all the things that she's done with this course, and then absolutely this new addition to the course with Access America. So we're excited to share it with you.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So as we mentioned before, don't be shy. If you have questions, put them in the chat. And Alisa is a pro with USA Learns, so she can probably answer a lot of them right there in the chat. And if anything pops up that that she wants to mention, she'll just not be shy either and just ask me, and I can cover those things. Okay, so as you know, we're talking about USA Learns, which is located at usalearns.org. This is our homepage. And if you feel like you might at some point want to review these slides I'm sharing, grab your phone, take a picture. This is just like a view only version of these slides, and I'll leave it up there for about 3 more seconds. 1, 2, 3.
I also put the link in the chat.
Oh, better yet than me counting out loud to everybody. Okay, so my agenda that I have in mind for us today is as follows. We've already done a little welcome, and we'll be talking more about the purpose of our time together. I'll give you a little overview of USA Learns, because I noticed in the chat that it seemed like most of you had either never heard of us, or you just have heard of us but haven't used us yet. So, and then we'll also be talking about this new Access America course. I'll give you a little tour of Access America. And if we have time, and if you guys are interested, I might be able to give us a little peek at our USA Learns citizenship course, which I am so proud of that one. That one's amazing, and it prepares immigrants for all aspects of the naturalization interview. So let's see if we can fit a little peek of that in here. We also have some tips for teachers. And as I'm showing you this stuff, be thinking, how might I use this with my learners? Because I would love to hear that from you as we, as we're going through this. Put your ideas in the chat or save them to the end, whatever. But I really do want to hear from you on how you might use this. Okay, so during our time together today, I'm hoping that I can increase your awareness of Access America, which is our new integration ESL course that helps immigrant and refugee English learners be successful in the United States and integrate into their communities by using our interactive language learning opportunities. Boy, that's a long sentence. We'll be sharing some tips with you about how to use this resource to support your learners. And so what is USA Learns? So it's a project that was originally funded by the Federal Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education. And back in the day, they wanted to know if adults could learn English online. And after having had so many people come to our site, we believe the answer is a very strong yes, they can. USA Learns focuses on, we have intermediate ESL. We also have some beginning ESL. We teach civic integration, citizenship, job skills, and lots of amazing language learning opportunities too. The site launched originally in 2008, and we've upgraded it several times. And we're committed to keeping this site 100% free. And I mention that because in a minute, I'll take you on a little tour and you're going to see some ads on the site. And we're really careful with where we place those ads. We keep them out of the way, maybe far on the right or far on the bottom. Don't you hate it when you go to a website and you can't tell what is ads and what is actual curriculum, right? I hate that. So we're really careful. We keep it out of the learning area, but the ads is what lets us keep this site alive. Because I will tell you, it's very hard to run a free website. You don't have some way to pay for the programmers and pay for the new courses and things like that. Okay. So a little bit about usage statistics. So as I shared, the site launched in 2008. We've had a lot of people come to our site. We've had 2.1 billion web pages viewed and more than 17 million website visitors come to our site. Each month we have about 10 million people coming, pages viewed, and about 190,000 monthly users, which that's a lot of people. Okay, and our site has been accessed by almost every single country in the world, except for North Korea, because I think they block pretty much anything coming from the US. And I used to, when I did this presentation, I said, we've been accessed by every single country in the world. And then my boss was helping me prepare some updated stats. And he's like, no, wait, look at that one little dot. Oh, North Korea, they haven't come to our site. So I can't say that anymore. Okay, so let me just share a little bit of info with you about our courses. So we have English courses. There are several, and I'll tell you about them individually here. So we have our first English course. It's low beginning to high beginning ESL, and it's 20 video-based units. And the students love these videos. This one specifically is about, that we're seeing there in that picture, Ms. Marquez. She's the teacher of this adult education class. And so we get to know the students in this class, and we get to see them interacting amongst themselves and in their community. Really lovely series of videos. And then English 1 Plus is the next one in order. It's beginning, high, intermediate, low. And if you're familiar with the Voice of America Let's Learn English video series, then this will look very familiar to you. One thing we love to do with USA Learns is we love to get either some public domain videos or some videos that someone will give us access to. We take those videos and we chop them up into little pieces, and then we build language instruction around them. So anyway, that's English 1 Plus. Second English course is intermediate level, 20 video-based units that really focus on job and life skills. There's also a lot of great civic information in this one. And then practice English and reading is intermediate level, and it's based on some real news stories that we got from a TV station here in Sacramento. All right, and then we have a course called Skills for the Nursing Assistant. It teaches job skills to help kind of entry-level healthcare workers communicate successfully on the job. And with this one, we're excited. We just recently added a new lesson that helps our learners prepare to take the state exam to be a CNA. So that's pretty exciting. All right, and then we have our USA Learn Citizenship course, which, as I shared, helps learners prepare for all aspects of the naturalization interview, including all those tricky questions that one can be asked about their N400 application. Okay, and then Access America. This is really the reason we came here today is to talk about Access America. And this one, I'm just in love with this new course. It's just, I'm so proud of it. It took us over 2 years to build this. And we shot video. We had about 20 professional actors as a part of it. We have a large team of curriculum developers and multimedia people, technical people. Anyway, so this one helps immigrants be successful living in the United States. And I'll give you a tour of this one in just a moment. So if you wouldn't mind, in the chat, I would love to hear from you. I would like to know about, in your opinion, what are some of the more challenging things that new immigrants face when they first arrive to the United States? If you could put your ideas in the chat, and then maybe Alisa can help me see what those are, and that might help me guide the tour. So I'll give you just a few seconds to do that.
So Robert's saying utilizing resources. We've got understanding culture, communication, missing family, communications. Yeah, lack of community support.
Mm-hmm. All right, lots of great ideas in there. So
Job access.
Job access, absolutely. So I think as we go through here, I think you're going to see that we touch on, most of those things. All right, so what is Access America? It's an innovative and free integration ESL course that covers all 3 pillars of immigrant integration, including linguistic, civic, and economic. It can be self-paced. So I will share with you, the grand majority of our learners they're not in an adult education class. They're just on here learning by themselves. But I will tell you too, they all want a teacher. So all you teachers, you're very, very hot commodity. Everybody wants a teacher. So you can do this either self-paced or you can do it with a teacher. And we have 23 contextualized intermediate ESL lessons, including hundreds of multimedia elements. We have tons of audio files and images and videos. These are all designed to promote learners' access to the knowledge, skills, resources, and services necessary for success in the United States. These are just a couple pictures from the videos. Okay, and our course is aligned with EL Civics co-ops, employability skills objectives, and more. And Access America leads really nicely into our USA Learn Citizenship course. Okay, so there are some key features I'd like to point out to you. We explain how to navigate various US systems, including how to obtain work, housing, education, how to communicate with your child's school, how to improve one's own education, right? How to get medical care, and lots more. We also help learners understand how to access available community resources and support services. So those are some of the things you guys were mentioning in the chat. So thank you for that. Mm-hmm. We also promote and foster digital literacy. You'll see in here that every one of our lessons has a digital literacy activity. And one thing that we're especially proud of is this next bullet, which is that we connect learners to their communities with these activities that we created, which are called In Your Community. And with those, we have the learners, they learn some language skills and some content while they're in the course, right? And then we send them out into their community to research something. Maybe it's find a childcare center near you, find somewhere you'd like to apply for a job, find a store you want to go to, and we send them with some little questions to research. They come back to the course and they record themselves answering those questions. So I'll show you that. And while we're doing all this, we're teaching intermediate English. Okay, so just a few words about the immigrant integration process. So if you read scholarly articles on the topic, you'll see some terms that are used to refer to these various phases of integration. And those are listed down the left side. So, you'll hear about the honeymoon phase, and you'll hear stress and coping and adapting and fully integrated. And so in USA Learns, that's basically how we aligned our units with those basic topic areas, but we use different language for our unit names, kind of more user-friendly language, right? We call it New Beginnings, that's our unit 1. And then we have Facing Challenges and Taking Control, Becoming Part of the Community, and Settling In. All right, so I think it's time for a tour. What do you guys think? All right, so here we are on our home page. I'm gonna scoot this over here. If this were my first time coming here, I would click on this big red Start Now button and register. And in a minute, I'll show you how students do that. But I've been here about 1,000,000 times. And so I'm now going to sign in using my student sign in. Okay, so here we are on the My Home page. This page lists our various courses, and these will look familiar. We just chatted about them a moment ago. You'll see these are all our courses here. And we're going to be looking specifically at Access America. So I'm going to take us to our unit menu page. And here we have our unit 1, New Beginnings, Facing Challenges. Those are the ones I just mentioned a moment ago. So while we're here, I'll just show you a couple things. So this column here, this is the unit name. This column that has the check mark at the top, that's basically the status column. And if you come here and you see just a white box, that means you haven't started this unit at all. If it's half filled in, like what you're seeing here, that means the student at least did something. They started it. And if it's all the way blue, it means it's done. They completed it. And once an entire unit is complete, you'll see scores here. Okay, so let's check out Unit 1, New Beginnings. All right. So here we have on our lesson menu page, we have various lessons. We have a new community and getting around town, managing your money, getting a job, finding childcare, and then we have a unit test at the end of each one. So let's just I'm going to just take you on a little random sampling. All right, so here we are in Unit 1.1, a new community. We have our introduction, and we teach about places in the community and how to access city services and how to talk to customer service, right? How to make that phone call and talk with the city about your utilities. We always have a grammar lesson in each of these. We have a nice piece on the library. In this one, our digital literacy activity is about using public Wi-Fi safely. We talk about names in the US because, we do those last names in a different order than, some folks do in their countries. And then we have our In Your Community activity, followed by a review and self-evaluation. So let's start off here and let's meet the family. So this is our family. So I'll share with you, this is, I'm just gonna play it. Hopefully you hear that okay.
This is the Martinez family. Diego, Elena, and their 3 children, Blanca, Rudy, and Mario. They moved to the United States from El Salvador 5 years ago. Moving to a new country isn't easy, but the family has learned a lot about living in the U.S. In this course, you're going to learn along with them while you watch videos and practice new vocabulary and grammar.
All right, so that's our family. And so you'll see to go to the next activity, it's the navigation is very easy in this course. I'm just going to hit next. Okay, so I hit next, and here we are. We're talking about the honeymoon phase, little introduction. And this story kind of follows this family along a period of about 5 years. So these are some pictures of those kids 5 years ago. This is actually my friend Frank and his real kids. So they were really nice and helped us be our actors in this. All right, so here we're a little introduction to a new community. Here we have our learning goals. I'll just hit listen and play a part of it for you.
In this lesson, you will learn about community places and services, using public Wi-Fi, and names in the United States. You will practice key words, conversation skills, questions and answers with can, and prepositions with dates and times.
Okay. All right, so let me show you how we introduce some of this information. So this is a little animated video we created about places in the community.
Places in the community. When you move to a new community, there are some places you need to find right away. At the grocery store, you can buy food and other important household items. Many discount stores also sell groceries, along with clothing, furniture, and just about everything else.
So you'll notice lots and lots of audio, lots and very carefully selected imagery too. All right, let's see here. So then we move on to a check your understanding activity, and the instructions say to read the question and then select the correct answer, and you can watch the video again if you want to for help. Okay, so let's see, a store sells food and other household items. Let's see, I'm thinking grocery store. Yay, so 2 stars. I got it right on my first try. That's great. All right, who can write prescriptions for medicine in the US? I'm thinking let's just answer incorrectly and I'll show you how it works. So pharmacists cannot write them, right? So I can try again though. Okay, so doctors. Yay, okay. So I got 1 star that time, and my score will reflect, that I didn't get it right on my first try, but I still got it right. That's good. Okay, so now I'll show you another button. So to move back a level, I just hit this menu button and it takes me back. Okay. Let's go to another little area. Let's look at getting a job. Okay, so here we have some vocabulary about job ads. We have a nice little video about online job applications and how those work and how to do it. We have tips for job interviews, interviewing for a job, grammar and writing, body language in your community, and self-evaluation. Let's look at, let me show you how we do vocabulary with our Learn Keywords activities. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna hit listen.
Operate a forklift. To operate a forklift is to drive and control a machine used for moving things. My cousin operates a forklift at a warehouse.
So you'll notice we have the vocabulary word itself, then we have a definition, and then we have a sample sentence. We feel like audio is just so important, right? Here we have another one. I'll show you this one more here.
Load or unload. When you load something, you put it into or onto a vehicle. When you unload something, you take it out of a vehicle. Please load these boxes onto the truck. Please unload the boxes and put them away.
All right, so you get the idea. So that's how we do our, how we teach vocabulary. Let's see here. We have a nice little thing about online job applications. Let's see, I'm going to pop into another one. I'm just going to give you guys a little sampling. Let's see, managing your money. Nice little piece about banking and talking with the bank employee. We have a nice little bit about how to select a bank. Grammar and writing. I'll show you a little grammar piece. So simple, present, yes, no questions. Okay.
Simple present yes, no questions. We use simple present verbs to talk about things that are generally true. For verbs other than be, yes, no questions in the simple present begin with do or does.
Okay, there we go. So that's a little sample of grammar. Okay, let me see, finding childcare. So we're teaching our vocabulary, and then we're doing a little comprehension check, and let's watch.
Childcare in the United States. In the United States, there are different kinds of licensed childcare providers. For example, home daycare, childcare centers, and preschools. At a home daycare, a licensed childcare provider takes care of a small number of children at home. There are several advantages to home daycare. Home daycares often accept children of all ages, including babies and toddlers. Children may feel comfortable in a
All
home
right,
like
so we kind of covered the various types of daycare settings. All right, let's see. Let's look at talking to a childcare worker. Okay, here we have Diego. He's going to ask some questions of the childcare worker.
Hi, I'm Diego Martinez. We spoke on the phone.
Yes, of course. I'm Connie. So nice to meet you.
You too.
Okay, so the question is, what did Diego do before he came to the child care center? Let's say he wrote them an email, he read their policies, or he called them on the phone. I think he called them on the phone. Yes. Okay, so anyway, lots of nice little video clips to teach the information. Okay, I want to show you. Let's see, we have finding a home, starting school, dealing with healthcare, communicating with the school, emergency disasters. Let's look at dealing with healthcare. Oh, let's look at this one. I really like this one. This is a little video we made about parts of the body.
Parts of the Body, Part 1. Head. Neck. Shoulder. Arm.
You get the idea. I was really excited about this one because I mean, it could have just as easily been a stick figure with some lines pointing, right? Hand, head, whatever. I like that we were able to make this kind of artistic and beautiful while also teaching some, rather simple vocabulary. I really liked this one. Okay, so here we go. This is a listening activity. We're supposed to select the listen button and choose the correct picture for the body part we hear. So here we go.
Hand.
Hand. Yay, I got it. Okay. All right, you get the idea. We won't do too many of those. We have a nice little piece on vaccination and getting health information online, making a medical appointment, health insurance, going to the dentist. Let's do this little in your community activity. This is the one that I feel is it's really quite innovative in that we're trying to connect learners, work in the classroom with what they're, what the services available to them out in the community. So let's get ready to speak. Okay, so I'll play this audio file for you.
Assignment. Find a healthcare provider, for example, a medical or dental clinic in your area. Answer some of these questions. What services do they offer? How much do they charge for a checkup? What kinds of insurance do they accept? Do they accept patients who don't have insurance? Get ready to talk about what you learned.
Okay, and then I hit next. And then here's a sample response because we want the learners to have a sense of kind of what we're going for here.
I found a dental clinic near my house. They offer a lot of dental services and they accept many different kinds of insurance.
Okay, so you get the idea. And now it's my turn to speak. So I have to allow. Okay, now I'm going to listen.
Now it's your turn. Talk about a healthcare provider in your area.
Okay, so then to do this, when I hit speak, I found the office of Dr. Hector Fernandez. He is a dentist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I would hit playback and it plays, it lets me listen to my voice again and just kind of, I can do, and it's nice because I can do this as many times as I want, just to practice. Okay, so that is how that works. All righty. Let's pop into another unit, taking control. We have some nice activities and lessons on healthy eating and safety and job skills, building good credit, driving, and we have a unit test. Hey, Alisa, is there anything coming in the chat we should attend to, or are we good?
No, they're just all kudos.
You guys are just, oh, good. I'm glad. All right, let's look at becoming part of the community. All right, so we have a nice little piece on taking care of the environment and choosing a path, interviews and promotions, and achieving goals. Let's look at choosing a path. All right, so we have some nice info on degrees, diplomas, and certificates, and how to choose a career, talking to a career counselor, researching careers online, and taking career tests. But let's talk to a career counselor. We're going to watch Elena in action as she tries to figure out what she wants to do.
So Elena, you're thinking you would like to be a teacher?
I think so. Before I came to the US, I taught preschool in El Salvador. I love working with children.
Would you like to teach preschool again?
I don't know. Not really. I think I'd like to teach children who are a little bit older. You know, elementary age. But I don't know. Do you think it would be too difficult for me to get a teaching credential?
Did you go to college in El Salvador?
Yes, but just for 2 years.
Well, actually it takes...
Okay, so anyway, that's a peek at one of our nice little videos. So we always like to follow with some kind of comprehension activity, right? So this is a notice your language activity. The instructions say choose the correct words to complete the sentence, watch the video to check your answer. Okay, I love with the children, I love working with the children. There we go. All righty. Let's go to another little piece here. Becoming part of the community. Oh, we already did this one. All right, let's do settling in. So here we have a nice piece on getting involved, you know, volunteering in your community and recreation and enrichment activities that one can participate in, and how to talk to a new person. Oh, let's see, is this, let me see. Let me see, this might be our potluck scene. Let's see if it is, I don't remember. Let me see, is this potluck scene? No, it's not, but that's okay.
Welcome. Coming. Okay. Hello. You must be Mario's mom.
That's right, Elena.
Hi, Elena. Nice to meet you. I'm Carrie. My daughter is Jessica.
Okay, so you get the idea. Let's see, what else do I want to show you in here? Online classes and meetings. Okay, we're going to pop over here. I'm kind of watching the clock. I think we're going to just pop down to the end, and I'm going to show you the little conclusion video of this, but we're not done yet, so don't escape. We're just going to watch the end of this video.
Well, we're off to explore more of the United States.
Thanks for sharing our journey.
And thank you for studying with USA Learn's Access America. We invite you to learn more English, get new job skills, and prepare to become a U.S. citizen with our other USA Learns courses. usalearns.org.
All right, so that was a peek at Access America. All right, so if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat, and Alisa will keep an eye on them for me. All right, so actually, you know what? I think we have time. I'm going to give you a little peek at our citizenship course. Does that sound like a good plan, you guys? Okay, I'm hitting the menu button till I get back to where I want to be, which is right here. Okay, so USA Learn Citizenship. I'll tell you, a team of 30 people worked on this course, including immigration attorneys, adult education, curriculum developers, bunch of technical people. All right, so this course, here we are in the unit menu, and we have 4 units. They are Steps to Becoming a U.S. Citizen, the N400 Interview Practice, Civics Reading and Writing Practice, and Your Interview and New Citizenship. And I'm just going to pop in here really quick. You know, we have some nice info about becoming a citizen. You know, why should you do it, and are you even eligible? That's a good place to start, right? And lots of great info about being prepared and not getting scammed, because there's so many scammers out there trying to cause problems. And then the unit that is I feel like the shining star of this course is this, the N400 interview practice, because as you may know, in order to, apply to be a citizen, you have to fill out the N400 application. And it's this 20-page document, asks a lot of very hard questions, uses very difficult vocabulary. And so we put a lot of emphasis on making sure our learners understand all of that vocabulary and are prepared to answer questions about their application that they turned in. For example, I'll show you just a little peek in this one. Memberships and associations, that's there's a chunk of questions on the N400 about that. There are questions about, what groups are you affiliated with? Have you done any war crimes? Were you involved in military groups? I'll just show you. Here's a little piece on war crimes, which is a difficult topic. And so here, we're teaching the vocabulary about war crimes, persecute, genocide. The applicant might be asked questions like, were you ever involved with genocide? Or were you ever involved with torture or trying to kill someone, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, that's a little peek at the N400 unit. We also have a whole unit on civics, reading and writing practice, right? You guys may be familiar with, the lovely red box of flashcards, right? All those civics questions. Well, we teach all that stuff here plus more. And we also provide practice for the reading, the writing, and the speaking. And also a nice little piece on, the actual interview itself, right? Arriving to the interview, kind of what does that process look like? We have a nice piece on greeting and small talk. One thing I learned when I started working on this project was the officer really begins determining if this applicant speaks English, like right there in the hall. How are you? How's the weather? Did you find somewhere to park? So that small talk piece is important. And so we have a lot of information on that. And we also teach a little bit about, what actually happens in the interview and what does it look like there? And then what happens after the interview. All right, so that was I wanted to sneak that in there to share that with you guys about the citizenship course because it really is good. Okay, so I'm watching the clock. So hopefully at this time, you all are thinking, wow, this looks really good and I would like to do this with my students. So I'll keep going, assuming that's the case. And you may be wondering, how do teachers register, right? So basically you're going to go to usalearns.org/teacher, and within about, 30 seconds or so, you can create your own free teacher account. And once you have that account, you can invite your students to be in your USA Learns class. And, and once your students are connected with you, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, once you're connected, you can see student scores, how much time they spent, the last date that they accessed their course, the number of attempts, how many times they tried doing each activity. And you can also help them with their password in case they were to forget their password. So here's how you register. You're going to fill out this really simple form, your email address, a real one, please. Your first name, your last name, and your alias. That just means, what name you want your students to see. Maybe it's Mrs. Smith, or maybe it's Sally, or whatever. You're going to pick your country and your agency type. Maybe you're an adult school or a community college or a library, who knows? You can enter your agency name and create your password. So that is all there is to that. And then you're going to get an email from us. So we asked you to just right then, just go click the big blue link so we confirm you're a real human. And then you're going to sign in. Okay. So now I'm a teacher here. I'm logged into my new teacher account. There's not a whole lot here on my homepage because I'm new here, right? I need to start a new class. So I will click that button to do that. Okay. Here is the little form that you fill out to basically create, it's kind of like a cloned version of one of our courses, and you can pick which one you want. So you're going to name your class whatever you want. And this is a pull down menu. Maybe you want to make an Access America course. And so you pull down, pick Access America, type a little description. It doesn't really matter what you write there because I think only you will see it. And then put a start date. And I suggest don't put an end date unless you really, really want it to end. Some people have really, solid reasons why they want it to end, but most people just get annoyed when they can't get in anymore. So just don't put a date there is my suggestion. Okay. So now you might be wondering, how do I get my students in here? How do I know what my students are doing? So basically here on this is a screenshot of my my homepage. So here I have a list of my courses that I've created, and you'll notice a column here at the end called class key. So this is an 8-digit code, and basically you're going to give that code to the students in that specific class. Okay, so let's imagine you've done that. You've given your students the code, and in a minute, I'll show you what they do with it, okay? All right, so now you might be wondering, how do my students register? And you might also be thinking, how can I, as a teacher, preview these courses as if I were a student, right? And it's the same answer to both questions. So let me show you that. Okay, so here we are on the student homepage, usalearns.org. Click the big Start Now button. Fill out the form, put a real email address, first name, last name, make a password, confirm the password. And then we have a little math problem at the bottom, right? And so that's just a little security measure. So, and that's always different. You know, it's always a different question. Okay, then the students go and they open their email, they click the big blue link. That way, when they forget their password, they can use the forgot your password feature. Okay, and then they're going to sign in. All right, so here I am. I'm a student, right? I'm a student in this scenario. I'm logged in. And remember that class key I showed you a minute ago? Well, now it's time to do something with that class key. So the student will have this enroll in my teacher's class button. So they click it. And then here, they ideally copy paste that class key into this box and hit enroll. And now you as the teacher can monitor your students' progress. All right, so we have some tips for teachers, and I always love when Alisa can join me. So let's see, Alisa, one option is we could share one of these videos, or we could share some other tips. Let me see. What is your pleasure, Alisa? Would you like?
Yeah, whatever you'd like.
Okay, let's do this one. I really like this one. I recently had Alisa create some videos for me. So when I go to conferences and if she can't be with me that day, she's still with me in video. So let's do how I correlate my textbook with USA Learns Access America. Let's watch this little video.
Hi everyone, my name is Alisa Tekeuchi and I am a beginning ESL instructor in sunny Southern California. And today I really want to show you how I correlate my textbook that I use in the classroom with USA Learns Access America in a very quick and efficient way. So first things first, I'm going to log into my USA Learns teacher account, and at the top you will see resources. And under resources, you'll see the curriculum scope and sequence. Now, next week, we are going to be learning about health. That's the unit in my textbook. So I want to find all the units that will correlate in Access America with health so that I can either use it in addition to or as an extension activity. So I'm going to select Scope and Sequence under Access America. And I'm going to do Control F. Control F means to find, and I'm going to search for the word health. So as you can see, there are 12 places where the word health lines up in USA Learns Access America. And the first one is in here, right here, 2.3, dealing with healthcare. That sounds like a perfect unit for correlating with my textbook. So I can take a look and see what all is involved with the 2.3. And if I keep continuing with this, it goes down the line. Every time it sees the word health, it will go ahead and highlight that for me. And this is actually in a different unit. So this is under 2.5, preparing for emergencies, which might be a really good opportunity for us to extend that health unit into like medical emergencies and such. And then if I keep going down, you will see that it will show me in 3.1, finding connection through food. And you'll see a healthy breakfast, finding health and nutrition. And this actually is going to go really well with our EL Civics nutrition unit, which we are also tying in with our curriculum. So By correlating and aligning your textbook with USA Learns, it doesn't have to be two separate things. You can easily find material that will work with your curriculum and or in addition to your EL Civics or as extension activities using Control F. I really hope that helped. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
That was great. I just love that. Thank you. That's funny that you're here and we're watching your video. So it's just a double bonus. Thank you for that. And I love that. I mean, for me, a takeaway with that is that you do not have to do Access America from A to Z. Start at the beginning and go to the end. You can pop around and do whatever aligns with whatever you're teaching at that time. So I think that's a lovely point you make with your video, Alisa. Thank you.
So there's a question real quick. So
yeah.
Patricia, how did I get to that? When you log into your teacher account, at the very top, there's a section called resources, excuse me. And then under resources, there'll be a section called scope and sequence. And when you click on that, the scope and sequence will be, there's going to be a scope and sequence for all the courses. And then you just go down to Access America or whichever course you're working on, and you can see the scope and sequence there.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, so basically I just logged into my teacher account quickly to show you. So I hit resources and then there's this curriculum scope and sequence. And then I go down here, Access America, scope and sequence, boom, there we are. So there we go, that's how you do it. Okay, great. All right, let me see, I'm watching the clock and we're doing great on time. Okay, so, there's some new and exciting things that have happened with USA Learns recently, which is that about a year ago, we completed a pretty significant rebuild of the site. We received a lovely grant from Dollar General Literacy Foundation, which enabled us to rebuild the site so that it now functions well on phones and tablets and computers. So that was really huge because before that rebuild, I mean, when we originally built USA Learns, getting on the internet on your phone wasn't even a thing. You just didn't do it. And it's so core to everything we do now. So this is just a sample of the responsive design rebuild that we did. So before the rebuild on the left, if I was going to the site on my phone, that's what it looked like. It was kind of chopped off and I had to scroll over left and right to see everything. And it was a very big pain. But learners still did it because our learners are very motivated. We still had lots and lots of people coming to the site on a phone, but now it's much, much better. Now every page, there's like basically 6 versions of every single layout, depending on what device you're on. So if you're on a phone, we're stacking page elements, you know, with the text above, the image below, or if you're on a wider thing, it might be like side by side. Anyway, it was a very big programming job, I'll share with you. We also now have a certificate of completion. So if you're logged in as a teacher, on the right side of your My Home page, you'll find that you can download a PDF of our certificate and you can fill it out however you want. And we also were recently approved in Texas as a distance learning curriculum. And check it out, we're already approved in Michigan. Yay, go Michigan. And it's tricky. It's hard to know where all we're approved because there's no central location. I just kind of figure it out randomly. Every once in a while, I do an internet search for all the state names. So anyway, so we're excited to be approved in Michigan. And we recently just got a grant from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services to do something innovative with USA Learns, and that is that we're going to be making some updates to our citizenship course. We're going to be adding more digital literacy, more integration topics, and we're going to be aligning more with the new curriculum that they recently released. So we're super excited about that. One more little thing, and we're almost done, is we have been invited by a national project called Enhancing Access for Refugees and New Americans. It's called EARN. We've been invited to work with them to create a teacher's guide to use Access America. So we felt very honored to do that. All right, so now it's your turn, guys and gals. I would love to hear from you in the chat. What do you think? How might you use this with your students? Really would love your thoughts, actually, especially as I'm working on this teacher guide. We love whenever we can hear from real live educators, you know, ideas on how to use this. So if you wouldn't mind, take a moment and share your ideas in the chat. We would love it. And also, if you have any questions, you can put those in there too.
Yes, Nancy, absolutely. So I was just going to chime in real quick. So the really wonderful thing with the whole USA Learns, with all the courses, is that it's a take it or leave it kind of thing. You can use it as direct instruction in your classroom, where you have your own account, or you don't even really need account. You can just go ahead and go to the USA Learns. Oh yeah, you would go into your account and then you would show the activities and things as a classroom. You would do everything as a classroom. Or you can do what Andrea was asking, creating your teacher account and creating a classroom and then having your students enroll in that classroom so that you can manage the students' progress. Or you can actually just have the students use it on their own independently. So if it's like, oh, that's just one more thing for me to do, I really don't want to create a classroom and I don't want to do this, that's okay. You just give the students access to USA Learns, help them to create an account, and then they're on their own. And every once in a while, even if you still do it in the classroom, then they can still do it on their own, maybe as homework and stuff, but you don't really, you don't need to have a classroom, USA Learns classroom to manage anything. So it really is up to you how much you want to get involved into the studies of it. Yeah, so Nancy's saying she can see using it pretty much both ways. Let's see here. I have a pretty specific question about math modules. Oh, okay. And then the other thing is, so then for my class, what we do is, like I said, I really pick and choose. So you don't have to go in any particular order either. So, I go around and I look at all the chapters of my book, and then I try to correlate whichever unit or section of Access America correlates with that particular one, and that's what we're doing. So then the students can practice on their own, other activities if they want, but they know that we'll actually be doing certain ones in class together.
Great.
Oh, great. Yeah. So citizenship, first, again, you can use it as a class as a whole, and you can, have them enroll in it and you can see their progress, or you literally can use it as supplemental material for them.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'll share while you're looking at that, Alisa, is I hear that a lot of schools use this for their wait lists. I don't know if you guys have wait lists, but so many schools, they just have students lined up, going, lined up down the street wanting to take courses, and they just can't fit them all in. And so a lot of places will refer their learners to USA Learns, have them start studying with that, get their contact information, and then, when they have an opening, reach back out to them. But in the meantime, the students are studying something meaningful and you're not losing them.
One of the other helpful hints that I've used with my students, because I have beginning students, is that I took a snapshot of the registration part, because we know sometimes, our students are having some tech issues, of whether it's typing or, putting in information correctly. So what I did was I took a snapshot and I printed it. And so all my students did it on paper first. And then I could check it and then, make sure that they got their email address correct, or their first name versus their last name and things like that. So then when they actually went on the computer, they literally just transferred the exact same information into the computer. And that really saved me a lot of time of running around the classroom trying to troubleshoot and put out fires. So, for all of you who are, beginning teachers or such, that might be a helpful hint.
That's a great idea, Lisa. I love it. All right. Anything else in there we should respond to, Alisa?
It's looking like it's a great resource. They're talking about the citizenship class and having students who aren't enrolled in, an actual citizenship class to use the course.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. How about you, Patrick? Anything else we should attend to while we're wrapping it up?
No, this is a really great resource, and I have used it in my prior career when I was at the program level. And so it's just great to see it continuing and all the updates. I had one question about when using at like a multi-level classroom, how does that kind of work? How have you both seen colleagues use that in a multi-level space? Either in a small group or, how have you seen that before?
Yeah. Alisa, do you have something you'd like to say, or I have something I could say, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, no, Andrea, go ahead.
I was just going to say, one nice thing about USA Learns is that we have various courses, right? So if you have someone who is more, a beginning level learner, they could be doing like a different course than others, so we have our first English course, you could have some people doing this course, you could have some people doing English 1+. I mean, I guess that's one thought.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. You know, that's a good point, is that, you know, if you create a classroom, not all students have to be in that classroom. A student can only be in one classroom at a time. So you would give the different classroom codes to the different students, depending on which ones you want in that particular class. I see that Robert has his hand up too. I think
this is when everybody else was done. I don't want to
no.
in and just wanted to get it in right at the end.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, if there is no more, so our organization does use USA Learns, and we've got a big ESL population, a variety of different language speakers. Spanish is a big one, and you know, we have a lot of industry partners, trade specifically, where to get into an apprenticeship program or even a pre-apprenticeship program, there's a test. This test has basic math.
Yeah.
I have tried my best to kind of work out the best way to transition these guys. But it is tricky, and this seems like the exact platform that would be kind of perfect for it. Yeah, I mean, even for medicine, you know, you've got a 30 milligram pill, you have a 15 milligram dose. Do you know to cut it in half? Or financial literacy, how do you teach that without basic math skills?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, is there any, I mean, I did scour as much as I could from the teacher's side to see, but is that anything that you might be thinking of adding in the future, or anything you could suggest? Or I would even be willing to, you know, in the non-existent free time I have, but I would make time, you know, to partner if that was something that you were thinking of exploring, because I think it's so important.
That's a great question. And actually, you know, we're always looking for what is that next course that we're going to make, right? I know we've had a lot of requests for financial literacy, health literacy, basic skills. Another one that we're thinking seriously about is a course for foreign trained professionals, right? But yeah, we're always looking and we always have our eyes open for grants that can help us fund the new work, right? Because it's expensive work.
Yep.
You know, so anyway, yeah. So let's all keep our eyes open for a grant that would help us fund something like what you're talking about, Robert. We would love to do something like that. I mean, it's such a great idea.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. All right, and I'm watching the clock, and I think we're out of time, and that's perfect because we covered everything we wanted to cover, I think. Patrick, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, thank you both so much. This has been fantastic. As always, you do a wonderful job, and this is just a great resource.
Thank you.
Again, I'll resonate with those words of free but high quality, right? And that's the most important piece of this. So thank you all. Any last questions or comments for our wonderful presenters?
One question here, are you guys going to be emailing the PowerPoint presentation?
Oh yeah, let me show you.
I put the link in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you click on that chat, if you click on that link, then it should take you directly to the view only.
And I also am showing the link on the screen right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you, everybody. It was really a pleasure to share this with you, and I hope you like it. Hope you get a chance.
Nancy has one.
Yes,
Sorry,
Nancy.
One more.
Nancy.
Yes. So I heard somebody say you can only be enrolled in one course at a time. I have students both in ESL and a citizenship class. Can they be enrolled in both?
I think they can. I'm not aware of a limitation on that. Yeah, I'm not aware of a limitation on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I was thinking that I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think you're right, Nancy.
But again,
it's fine.
but again, your students don't have to be enrolled in a classroom itself to use the course. Yeah, they have access to all the courses.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, everybody. All right. Well, thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us, Andrea and Alisa. And thank you all for participating.
Yes.
We will send all the materials. We'll cultivate that and send that to everyone early next week as a reminder. And just want to wish everyone a wonderful weekend. It looks like a wonderful weekend ahead here in Michigan. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend ahead in California as well.
Thank you.
And we'll stay on for just another minute. I'll stop recording if anyone's got any other questions or concerns. But other than that, take care, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.